Hello everyone and welcome to the International Racing League. This is the 10th round of the championship. And we're here for the first time in Europe this season, here for the round of Sweden. And I just broke my Tabana. There was originally 38 cars on the entry list, however, we're down to 37 starters. Kaylee Zapp had a crash at the top of the hill where her suspension broke and she went hard into the tire wall and almost flipped the car. She is okay, however, the team safety concerns and the fact that their backup car wasn't ready are not starting. Zappa will be back for the round of Finland with the backup car that is supposed to be running today. No other major news items have hit the circuit, minus the fact that the next group of independent trophy cars, Group 3, are starting this weekend. With all that being said, let's go through the starting grid. Danny Marco is getting his first pole since a long time, to be honest. On his outside, Jesse Knotts, not surprisingly, is still yet to win a race. Then it's James Cathcart over Masana. Masana possibly looking for a ride. This is going to help her. Ian Garrison and Brandy Thorne, the championship leader, Vio Ling, and UC Orolki making his first start, independent. Jake Bennett and Vladimir Vothanov. Vothanov's car is controversial, and we'll get to that in a minute, as long as his entry. Orman and Roy having a good qualifying effort. Ivor Panders in the third Scandinavia Sport car making his debut. And Matthew Evans on his outside. Jared Polaris making his first start in his career. Lines up on the inside of Edmund Berlund. Then at Tim McQuarting and Goryo Gorganev back. Ackerman, once again, amazing qualifying effort with Robin Rotara, the Formula X star. Pierre Lamont, Bjorg Daniel. Daniel won a little more. Lou Gray and Nate Smithley, who has been struggling all weekend, but they think they've gotten that car sorted out. Raver and Kyle West, not surprising to see West usually starts back here, but Raver, the Team Star USA cars aren't really road cars. Nick Kane replacing the suspended Devin Butler after Butler's multiple incidents in New Brunswick. Ivan Carson making one more start before his season effectively ends. Wesley Jewell and Ryan Rickshaw. Again, we'll further back a little bit more than they want to. I don't know if Souza and Jackson Bison all really wanted to be. And Regazzoni and last week's winner, Holiday and Tannerhill, all with penalties for their incidents in the round of New Brunswick. Now, all 37 cars are on the grid. Danny Marco leading, gonna lead them off, waiting for the signal to get them going. As they're revving the engines. 5 red lights, and away we go. On the round of Sweden starts, Marco gets a good start, but Jesse Knotts gets a better second phase, and so does Knotts' teammate James Cathcart, looking on the inside already of Marco. 3 wide, I think that's the 13 of Thorne making a move in the back. She's making a move. Marco got a horrible start. He's already down to 3rd, and they're side by side between the Team Rocket cars. For the lead, it looks like everyone's clear to the back, which is kind of what we were concerning on how these first few turns are set up. But everyone's clear. Masson just put a late chop on Ingi Eriksson. Thorne, though, great start up to 3rd from 6th. And Danny Marco, I think, at the worst start imaginable. He's in 4th, maybe down to 5th. As Masson is now looking on his inside. Right around this area is where Kaylee Zappa had her crash. As it looks like Marco is going to hold off the 19. As Ingi Eriksson's going to make a move on the... Looking back to the 2 Mid-Atlantic cars and Christopher Regazzoni, all 3 of these cars are penalized for the antics in New Brunswick. Regazzoni and Caitlin Tannehill for brake checking multiple drivers, and Holiday for putting Tessa Wolf into the pit wall. Team Star USA tried to appeal the penalty, or not appeal the penalty, but get Holiday even more penalized, like excluded from the race results, but nothing happened. As at the end of lap 1, Brady Thorne is making a move on James Cathcart. Cathcart, I don't think was expecting to move that quickly, but around the outside goes to Thorne. The Thorne's season has been horrible, but she's showing why she's a reigning champion. 2 independent trophies are fighting in the lower half of the top 10, Vladimir Vothanov and UC Orolki. Vothanov's entry is a little bit controversial, minus how that car looks and where the numbers are. There's no rule stating where the numbers must be, but they're really pretty. Vothanov's team, PMS Racing, used to be the Russian national team. They claim they're not anymore and that they're operating out of Cuba, which I'm not sure if that makes it better or worse. But the series allowed the entry, and here they are. PMS Racing is a endurance team and have quite a bit of success with Russian drivers. And they're not running on the Russian flag for obvious reasons. Gorio Gorganev, the Bulgarian, Belarusian, excuse me, also not running on the Belarusian flag. However, he's been living in the United States for quite a while. He's making a move on Ace Smithley, who Ace Smithley's car and Virtuo's car throughout the year have been a dog of a car. Chevrolet hasn't been. All the Chevrolet cars haven't been exactly powerful but good this year. But they're making it work as Gorganev is falling backwards and Kyle West is all over the place. Looks like that car's offhand. But Gorganev back after his decent run in the US 500. He got taken out. He's getting very trained at the moment, but he's doing a good job. And Ryan Raber throwing the late block and Casper Ackerman, who wouldn't do that too many times. Back in the front of the field, that is James Cathart making a luck on Briandy Thorne. Ferrari hasn't been good this year, but when you're getting in crashes like it's nobody's business, then that's going to happen. James Cathart is going for the championship, and I think he wants to be thrown out of the way. Down in turn 1, side by side. Coming up the hill, right around here is where the suspension of the 60 car broke during first practice, and she went hard into that tire wall, which we're going to see. Yeah, right here the suspension broke, and then she went into the tire wall coming up ahead. Not enough camera footage for obvious reasons, but Thorne is going to hold off the 15 as Danny Marco is now having luck coming back from the inside. Oh, contact! That was hairy. No, Cathart sees him, gives him room. I don't think he saw him the first time. Down into the hairpin. Still side by side, and Cathart holds the position. Marco swings him out wide, and looks like the 33 is going to have a run. Robin Rotara driving the Alfa Romeo. He is a driver for Alfa Romeo's and Formula X team. He's doing quite good over there. Big time rival Lou Hemmington, who isn't in this race, but we expect to see Hemmington later this tour. Here is Tim Courting dueling with Bulgar Daniel, and I think they made some contact, and Courting's off the road. Tim Courting's been having a horrible season compared to Matthew Evans, where we thought it would be the other way around. Courting would blow Evans out of the water. It's been vice versa, especially considering the fact that Evans has only finished half the races this year. Granted, when he does finish the races, he's usually high in the points. Courting now getting freight trained by Smithley and West, which are actually no, Courting's coming back on the inside of turn 1. Turn 1's like a 180 degree turn, where the racing line is narrow when you enter but widens out when you exit. Still side by side. I think Ace Smithley though is going to have the advantage entering this set of corners. And Ace Smithley holds on to something. 20th. Here's Jared Polaris, RPL Racing. Jared Polaris making his first start. He attempted the US 500 along with his teammates Paul Flores and Rob Martin, though all three failed to qualify. Rob Martin was supposed to be making his debut this weekend, but he got fired after making some very racist comments to a few people and has been replaced by Ryan Laney. Laney will be making his debut later in the season. Meanwhile, Polaris under attack from Robin Rotara, and Rotara is going to clear it. The F44, but welcome to the series, Jared Polaris, as Chris Regazzoni goes wide, trying to go around Nick Kane, who is replacing the suspended Devin Butler, after Devin Butler basically stopped and went perpendicular to the track. And he also worth noting that along with Butler's suspension, he's on probation. Anyway, Ivan Carson, Independence Trophy from the last group, is here this weekend as just, I wouldn't say a one-off, but this is probably the last strike he's going to make before the round of Grab City. Here's Lou Grainer, who has been having a lot of mechanical problems. He's been in the pits twice already, once under the hood. So the Grainer's weekend is not going too well. Working back in the midfield, Gorio Gorganev, he's wide. Here comes Ackerman and Wesley Jewell. Ackerman going to try to run the outside. That is a really good overtaking opportunity. If you can get a good run around the outside of those turns, you'll set him up, the driver you're trying to pass, get a nice run down this main straightaway and clear it into turn 1. Side by side, though, I don't think Gorganev's going to make Ackerman's life too easy, if easy at all. But that Audi-powered Ferrari, I can English today, is going to get past 72, and Wesley Jewell's going to try to get both of them. Up the hill, side by side, the 454R, as we get a look at the 54 car. There's been rumors that Casper Ackerman might be trying to bring Racing Team Holland into the round of Holland. So Ackerman has a stake in that team, so it'd be nice to see if that team show up for their home race. Wesley Jewell still cannot get past this 54 car, which is kind of surprising, because And that 4 car is technically a factory car, while the 54 is just a whole bunch of parts squabbled together, as Wesley Joel is going to fall backwards, looking at the Inglesby of UC Rookie, won the Independence, trying to make him around Jake Bennett. This is, I think, for 8th or something like that. Gonna get a nice run down the straightaway. Side by side. Jake Bennett also not having a great year, but again, he's not really his fault. Exiting turn 1, UC Roki is going to have the spot and put some distance between him and the guy he's most concerned about, the 172. Points later, Viola Lang has been kind of stuck behind her teammate, Everett Masana. I don't know if that's her getting out of the way or her just messing up. No, she's got a back contact between the Toyota drivers, and I think Masana was trying to let her in. A few laps later, Masana would have pit. Now this is scheduled, so Toyota playing the strategy card, and then most of the field pits the next lap. Keyword, most of the field. Ivan Carson was the only car not to pit, got an extra lap, doesn't really do much, but it does help his Independence Trophy bid, and he pits the 27. This is coming to the main straightaway after pit stop cycle out. Ling got ahead of the 19, however, there's no team orders at Toyota, as the 11 and 19 are side by side down the main straightaway. Garrison is up ahead of him. I think they're trying to get both. You can see Carson's area is in the pits in the background, so it's on this lap. Masana gets the 11, is not going after the 33. Though she doesn't have the run. So, Garrison is going to hold her spot, which I think is 4th. We're still waiting for scoring an update. This is behind them as the 27 exits the pits right at the same time. Chris Regazzoni is trying to get around the 80. Regazzoni's made his way up to 20th. Regazzoni not as flashy as his teammate is when coming to overtaking, but still is reliable when he needs to get the job done. Side by side, Wes is holding on. So the Chevrolets, which isn't exactly the best car this year, is holding on to the much powerful Ferrari. Though I think Regazzoni has the preferred line, and will have the preferred line. He's going to clear the 80. No, West is coming back. So Kyle West giving Regazzoni all his worth, and no, he's still there. Okay, so Kyle West is determined to hold on to 20th, and Regazzoni is throwing Fix behind him. Back up front, we got the battle for, I believe, 4th between Engie Harrison, Everett Masana, and Viola Ling. More contact, Masana really bumping people around. She did the same thing to her teammate, but I think that's more accidental. Harrison, it gets passed by one Toyota, now has to deal with the other one, who is notorious for making last-second maneuvers. Though Jay clears the 33. Here's Hiroki going all the way on the inside. You can see scoring is finally updated, and we can confirm this is the battle for 3rd, not 4th. So what happened to James Cathcart? Because Cathcart was 3rd. He must have had a horrible pit stop. And yeah, we're getting reports that he fell off the jack. Ivor Panders, this is his first start. He drives for Scandinavia Sport, which is the 3rd car. And if we ignore the fact that Bulgar Daniel, there's Bulgar Daniel in the background, so Daniel's been making a good run. All 3 Scandinavia Sport cars are in the top 5 or top 10. So that bad run. Meanwhile, Roy is holding up Robin Rotara and Jared Polaris. Rotara had a run on the curbs. That's Roy being defensive. You can see the 15's ahead of him. The 15 fell off the jack. We understand. Rotara cannot get past the 29, and Jared Polaris is hoping that with a 7 and 29 run over each other, because that's a free position for him. Back up front, the Thorn has run down Jesse Knott, and we're going to have a battle for the lead. The reigning champion, who has had no luck this season, trying to go for her first win on a driver who hasn't won, period. You can see there's through, I think that's the 79 or 5 in the background, trying to get past both Toyotas. Down to turn 1, I think there might have been some contact. Harrison. Dethorn on the inside, the 70 down, annexing turn 1, but the 70 is going to have a better run on the run down to turn 2. And the 70 holds the lead, so Dethorn tries she might, cannot get past Jesse Knotts. The white car that we saw trying to get past the 19 was the 79, as Viola Lang went backwards, apparently. I'm not sure if she just went off or just got a bad run. And got freight trained. But UC Oroki is trying to give the 19 a hard time. Oroki has one start to his name, and that's the US 500 this year, where he crashed it out. Like 95% of the field did. As Oroki gets past 19 and puts himself in the podium spots. Ace Smithley is starting to cause a bit of a traffic jam. I don't know if she's using the Rick Troy setup or vice versa, but yeah, she's holding up a lot of cars. Regazzoni, who has gotten past the 80, is starting to get annoyed on his radios. We can't play his radio chatter, too many expletives. Though I can't blame Smithley. 19 pits followed by several other cars. I think they realized what happened last time, because the 13 got the podium. They'll get his pit and then followed by the next lap. And Garrison's gonna try to leapfrog most of the field. This is behind him. Carson got ahead. The 14 gets loose in the last turn. Ace Smithley's gonna have a run the main straightaway. Regazzoni is getting the draft off of both of them. As we turn turn 1, Regazzoni's gonna make it 3 wide into turn 1. Let's keep it clean. Regazzoni throws it in. Smithley's gonna get past the 27, but it's not gonna matter. Her position won't change. Regazzoni with a hell of a move and takes 19, I think. Ace Smithley is gonna hold on, trying to make a run to 55. Yes, that was the lap for 19. We could confirm. Here's Lamar Bothanov now making a move on N. Garrison. That 13 car like swing that turn wide. Let's see. I don't think there was contact. This one seems to have damage. I thought there was a dent on his right side. You can see running order on the right hand side. I think it's about to update. Yeah, so many leads over the 13, who's not too far behind. Then the 04, then the 33, and the you can see running order on the top right hand side. Bogdanov making a move on Arison and clears the 33. So the 33 is now in 6th, and the 172 is now in 5th. Meanwhile, Nick Kane and his replacement for Devin Butler not doing too well, and that might be why. Engine failure, car number 6. Real shame too. Kane, I don't think was comfortable all weekend. Back at the front, around the midfield, we got the 2 TRDs dealing with Ryan Rickshaw. This is for 20th. Or excuse me, that's Ryan Raber. The Team Star USA cars aren't really built for road courses. They're more oval cars, but it's still not a good day for this team. As Raber throwing a block in the 99, Raber's ride is in doubt after failing to qualify for the US 500 after he won it the year prior, which is kind of why he got stuck at Team Star USA. However, knowing how Team Star USA operates, if you fail to qualify for the US 500, you're not making it in, and that only goes to full-time drivers, because that Cassandra Hendricks, who is the 3rd driver for that team, who will be making her debut next week in Finland, also failed to qualify. However, she's doing great in the American Racing League, and never driven one of these cars before. Team Star USA, say what you want about their driving, their hiring prospects and whatnot, have a good junior program, and understand you're not going to make every race. If you're a full-time driver, it's a different story. Makes a move with the 35, fails, gets tagged by her teammate, and the TRDs, both of them are off and into the tire barrier. Well, I don't think that's how it happened. 35 went wide, the 99 went almost as wide, and then they made contact, and the 4 who took the actual racing line hooked his teammate. Here's an review. 35 is going wide a bit. The 9 kind of follows, bounces off the 35, and knocks her into the 4, and off goes the 2 TRD cars. Though it does look that 99 car did get a little loose while entering that turn before she hit the 35. So I wonder if Ananoff has been fighting loose race car all day, and that's why she hasn't been doing so well, because she's been really quick all weekend except for today, and obviously qualifying. So Ananoff in her arm races along with Wesley Joel, and the 35 is blowing up, so maybe that's why the 99 got loose, because, well, 35 was spraying fluids as both Audis split the doomed Ryan Raber, who's in a horrible spot on the racetrack. Parks the car on track, he can't get it off. Then he tried to get to a Marshall station, but couldn't get there in time, and that's going to bring out the caution. A few cars pit under this yellow, and it's worth noting, you can't make it on fuel for the rest of the race. But if you get tires now, and everyone else pits when they're supposed to, and you're on fresher tires, which means you're quicker, it is possible you can leapfrog about a good amount of cars. Justin Nuts leads on the restart on lap 26 of 38. Not much time left in this race. And great start by the 70. Not so great start by the 13. I don't know if the Thorn was sleeping on the restart, but the 13 hasn't been too well on worn tires. As she's gonna make a move on the 70 side by side entering turn 1, but not close enough. Masana has cleared Aroki, and now first top the nose to tail. Masana sticks her nose in, entering 2. Car a bit sideways, but keeps it in a straight line for the most part. Now up the hill and down into 4. Masana with a crossover on the 13. Still can't clear the 3 and 4 wide in the background. Now this is the 5th place car. Inge Garrison's got her teammate behind her. 33 slides a bit wide, even wider this time. That 33s they went backwards on the set, makes a dive bomb on her teammate, and Inge Garrison from 5th spins. So Arison, who is having such a good run, throws it all away. In front of her, Brianna Thorne is still being hounded by Everett Masana. Let's see. Aroki, I think waiting in case these two make the same mistake that Arison just did, as you might have just seen in the background. CDO and a Thorn missed her braking. Arison's gonna have a run on the main straightaway. She's in the slipstream, pulling out now as they make the long run down. Side by side, this is, I don't think, what the Thorn needs or wants to be fair. Oh no, wants to lose position to be fair. Entering 1. Still side by side, but Masana has the preferred line and will take 2nd away from the American. D-Thorn trying all of what she can. She's gonna have another shot down here in the hairpin. Robin Rotaro just went off the circuit in the background. D-Thorn gets a good run out of the hairpin. Side by side of the 19, with the 19 better acceleration and keeps ahead of the Ferrari. So, the Thorn today looks like it's falling apart, and she's on the curb, exiting that turn. She's really using all the racetrack she can to try to get around her. However, Aroki sees an opportunity, trying to go for it. The 13 defends it well for now. The 04 looking low. I think the 13's resorted to mirror driving because she's overdriven that turn again. So the Thorn making a lot of uncharacteristic mistakes. As here comes Aroki down the main straight. And side by side with the 13. Aroki again, entering turn 1. Same thing will happen last up with Masana. 04 has the preferred line and is going to clear her. And Ira Pander sees an opportunity, is going for it. So Brandy Thor is getting freight trained. This day's going from bad to worse with the 13 team. I think that caution screwed her over. As they're side by side up the hill. Entering turn 4 to the late braking zone. It's an off-camera corner, which a lot of people don't like. Ira Panders is going to take 6th away from 13. Or 5th, no, 4th away from 13. Vothanov is 6th. Here comes D-Thorn, though, coming back with a crossover move. And she will clear the nice move by the 21. I think that's what she tried to do with Masana, who pits a few laps later. This is what we were talking about. Everyone else has got to pit one more time, but those cars with newer tires, as Knox pit, those cars with newer tires are going to be a lot will be a lot faster in the restart, and Pierre Lamont is in the lead as of when he took the stripe, followed by Ace Smithley, Tim Korting, and David Bison. These cars are going to pit again, but they're going to be a lot quicker as the 13 crew and the 172 crew, they dropped the ball significantly. They're further behind than everyone else. At least pit stop time wise, is everyone else who didn't pits. So I don't know where they're gonna cycle out, but I think they're gonna be inside the top 15, I believe. Bothanov making a move on the 13. That throw on 13. The Thorn one on the curb. There's definitely a problem there because that the 13's handling is gone. Robin Ricciardo, the great pit stop, by the way, he's up in the top 10. The Thorn coming back on the inside of the Bothanov, giving him just enough space to stay racing. Bothanov stings it wide. Here, he's going to run on the 13, hits the curb into the 13, into the 7, and Vladimir Bothanov just threw away a great debut, and he's going to beach the car, so Bothanov is going to go from a definite top 10 to down the standing. down the running order. Here's Rowan Retard. Here's what his ultimate camera angle focus on the 7. Racin Grafix has a history in rallying along with Formula 1, so this is great car control. See, the 72 hits the curb trying to get past the 13. Retard sideways saves the car and he's going to make a run out of this. He has the line thanks to him taking avoiding action. He's going to get a run down the front straightaway. And I don't think scoring is updated yet. But Brady Thorne, who would love to be safe in 9th after Bothanov had made his mistake, is going to be up inside the top. No, they're going to be outside the top 10, I believe. Because I think A. Smithley just came out in 10th. So the 13 and 172 team, oh my god, they did a horrible pit stop. This is about for third between two directors and not really used to, who don't run full time, let's put it like that. Pinders making a move in the 04. This is the battle for third, and look at that. That's the 75 Bulgar Daniels, who qualified 25th, all the way up to 4th if he can clear the 04. So Bulgar Daniel as having the drive of her life, and despite missing the US 500 a few weekends ago, she's rebounded quite nicely. I have to say so myself. Aroki trying to make a move back on the 170 or on the 21. However, unlike the few previous people, doesn't send it in like a madman and waits into the perfect opportunity, which is right around here. Coming on the first row, he's going to be in the draft of the Volvo. As you see, scoring on the right, yet to update. There he goes. This is about for third, as I think we kind of already established. Okay, so the 13th and 9th, that was about for 8th. So, still, horrible pit stop by the Ferrari crew, and you can see Lamont and Smithley, who are in the bottom half of the points, are now in the top 10. So great calls by their pit crew. Meanwhile, Aroki goes a bit wide. Here comes Bulgar Daniels around the outside. I think he's trying to set them up for a run into the front straightaway, but Aroki's going to fight back. Daniels sends it in, contact again, keeps it off the wall. Nice car control, and wouldn't call it a clean pass, but Bulgar Daniels still showing he knows how to drive a car, despite her opening the background. Masana making a move on the 70, trying to go for the lead. She's going to have a run. The 70 got all out of shape. As coming down the main straight, coming into the final turn, this 19 avoids laying into the 70 like the 75 did a few moments ago, and down the main straightaway. Lou Grainer has having a adventurous day with mechanical problems, tire problems, everything that's gone wrong today for him has gone wrong, and as soon as I say that, the engine dies. No, look at that, guys. Same place where Raver went out, blew up. However, the difference is that he's gonna stop where no cars are coming, so they can move that car out of the way quickly. Jake Bennett is in the midst of this Hornets nets. It's Gorgonov, Rickshaw, Arison, who's still recovering from her spin, Aiden Jackson, Matthew Evans. I don't know what happened to him. I think he just had a slow pit stop because he was inside the points earlier. Bennett has gone by the 33 and 84. I think the 84 just doored him twice. Wow, whoa, okay. So Raver's upset with Bennett over something. Don't know what, but he basically laid into the door of the 5. And that's what Jake Bennett thinks of it. And rule number 1 about stock car racing: if you're going to do some revenge, make sure you don't spin yourself out first. And Aiden Jackson had nowhere to go. Meanwhile, this is coming to the white flag. Ivor Panders has a run on the Toyota of Everett Masana. Side by side with the 19. White flag here in Gothenburg. Masana is going to try to stick with the 21 by the time Banner as they enter turn 1, but Panders clears the 19 and is going to try to pursue the 70 of Jesse Knotts, but you will run out of time. Jesse Knotts has had so much bad luck happen to her. Lois Knotts was her best chance to win, but she got taken out very early on by an idiot trying to win the race on lap 1. However, today will be the day. She rounds the final few turns, entering this little S section down the main straightaway, and she's going to see the checker flag, and for the first time, she's going to cross the line first and win the round of Sweden. And this is one of those wins that was well deserved. Top 3 all under second and a half. Bulgar Daniels, despite throwing it off the road earlier, got Usiroki back and took 4th. Lamont, Richard, and Smithley started deep in the field. However, through pit strategy and speed, they managed to climb their way up into the top 10. Brandy Thorne was livid, to say the least. Viola Ling, I think, got what she wanted. Rich Roy didn't really, move a lot, but he set the fastest lap of the race. So they got the car hooked up. As we look at the points, Viola Ling still holds a massive point lead now over her teammate after Cather had a dismal weekend, followed by Bennett, Daniels, Knox, Marco, and Ormond. Devin Butler, despite missing a race, basically the whole station. Harrison would have probably be higher in the points if it wasn't for her lazy spin. Dolores Madrigal, despite not starting half the race, only 5 races into the top 11. The series is going to get to the next of 3 Scandinavian countries, the round of Finland at the Klara International Raceway.